Welcome back. Thank you very much for staying with us. At least 80% of new businesses in South Africa may fail within the first 5 years of operation. But more disturbing is the lack of access to financial aid and support, especially for women. They face barriers to entry that seem utmost or almost impossible to break. But head of MoolaLend, Dudu Zondo, emphasizes the importance of access the funding opportunities as a means to trust, for instance, sustainable growth in this sector. He joins us now in studio just to give us more details and information about this. Sometimes I even get tired about discussing how there's a lack of access to so many things for women. So if female business and our role in the growth of the economy is so important, why is this still such a phenomenon?
Yes, thank you for having me. I think some of the challenges that women-led businesses face really they're really encapsulated in that traditionally a lot of women did not enter business until a lot later in life, and I think with only 31% of women-led businesses in South Africa being women-led, has found that a lot of funders in South Africa tend to a certain degree ignore women-led businesses, and they play quite a crucial role in the economy, because they often tend that once you invest in women-led businesses, they often tend to invest back into the community in which they stay in.
All right, but what are some of these main challenges that women face? Because if there's an 80% chance of businesses actually failing in the first 5 years, that means most of those are obviously female-run. What are these barriers that contribute to this?
Yeah, so I think it'll be a lot of barriers to entry. I think we also tend to find that a lot of women-led businesses in the past, because women had to be, the stabilizers of families, and they often had to prioritize, building families as well. What happens is they also enter the entrepreneurship journey quite a lot later in life. And I think a lot of funders as well didn't invest in women because it wasn't made a priority, which is something that funders have begun changing. MoolaLend, that was an internal decision that we made, because it was also based on data as well, that women are actually better repayers of loans, better and quicker repayers of their debts as well. So it's just about trying to find those areas where they're able to actually break barriers and enter certain markets and different sectors, such as, I guess, your construction and mining, which were traditionally male-dominated.
It's because we like nice things as women. We like to be comfortable, so we don't want to worry about debt. If I can finish it today,
yes.
I want to do it. You know what I mean? A lot of people, though, in terms of the failures of businesses, blame it on, for instance, things like a lack of financial education. But surely that can be dealt with by just simply giving people adequate support. Yes,
completely. I think one thing now, especially with social media, is that there's a lot of financial education that is being shared across different various platforms. And I think a lot of funders as well are a lot more open about things such as their fees, just to ensure that, any women-led businesses that come to you, that you give them, you are transparent in the way that you present your fees, so that you leave the businesses in a better position than when they came to you.
All right. So what are how do you begin to remove the financial barriers?
So I'd say it would have to be first internal decision. I think a lot of funders first would need to make that internal decision of, we need to try and focus to ensure that we make funding accessible for SMEs in South Africa, because they are the backbone of the economy. But I also think a big focus on women-led SMEs in South Africa as well, because I think a lot of women-led businesses, they are growing, and I think, in spaces such as with government and the private sector as well, they are prioritized in getting contracts as well. So I think as funders, we do need to show up enabled to ensure that we give access to funding, but also we're making it efficient as well for women-led businesses.
And, you know, this is clearly like a systematic problem, right? Or a systematic issue, because we don't only discuss it when it comes to businesses, sometimes even just employment. You know, you might be in the same position with a man and you find out that you get paid less, and there's no clear answer as to why. So this is obviously a system that has locked women up in a certain bubble, and it just refuses to pop. So what are your recommendations to make that pop?
I think to make that pop, it's important that we have women voices in decision-making roles. I think it's quite important, because I think it is easier for women to understand the challenges other women face. But I also think it's equally as important that men in those spaces as well also identify that women do have those challenges, and start to look at themselves as well to see, how can I make it more accessible or easier for women as well. So I think it's important that in those decision-making roles, or roles where, you know, policies are made, it's important that at the back of your mind, or actually more at the forefront of your mind, that you need to make things easier for women-led businesses, and I think women in general as well.
Absolutely. And I mean, I guess it's also just putting your ego aside as a man. Be confident. Like you're a person who's running a business that is going to lend money, I'm assuming particularly to women.
Yes. So we are looking at, again, an internal decision that we made was to have a bigger focus on women. And, you know, currently, for year on year, we've increased about 20% in terms of funding for women. We still want to improve over the next couple of years. Definitely, we funded a little less than 40 women led businesses over the last 4 years. And yeah, we're looking to improve that and hopefully get to 100 very soon in the next 5 years or so.
Thank you so much for speaking to us, and thank you for this initiative. It probably will just make sure that at least we turn the ship, you know, to make things a bit more equal. We don't want to take everything as women, but we just want that spot on the table, because we deserve it. That was Dudu Zondo. He's the head of MoolaLend.